Good morning upon you. Welcome to a little after 6 a.m. on a Sunday, January 28th. Hope you're having a great day. And wow, we're over 50 subscribers now. I just started this channel at the beginning of the year, so we're averaging about 2 subscribers a day. And so I really appreciate people finding my channel and hopefully liking what we're doing here and keeping you up to date on what's going on with the weather. If you don't mind doing me a favor, like and subscribe, of course. But yeah, just comment below where you're watching from. And I'll do my best to, mention your forecast as we go. So as we like to do a broad brush across the country, here are the watches and warnings across the country as they stand this morning. So up in New England or the Northeast, we have winter storm warnings, winter storm watches there with a little bit of snow still coming down. It's rain for the Virginias and into Appalachia, so some flooding concerns there. Flooding concerns for the rivers all the way from Michigan through Illinois and Indiana, parts of Missouri into Arkansas, the South, so South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and East Texas too. So all that rain they've been having its effects on the rivers. A little bit of snow, a little bit of fog, dense fog hanging in there. Minnesota through central Iowa. Just a small piece of South Dakota on the southeastern side, and then into Missouri as well. So be careful driving out there. A little bit of fog in eastern Washington as well, and a little bit of breezes, some wind advisories for Southern California. Across the surface today, here's your rain and snow for New England, and some of that is heavy snow. So that's why we have those watches and warnings out for Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. A little bit of freezing rain thrown in as well for New York and New Jersey and Massachusetts and Connecticut. And then heavy snow, New York, Pennsylvania, with a mixture of precipitation through the Ohio Valley down into Tennessee. And then for the Pacific Northwest, it's mostly rain. A little bit of mixture, though, as you get further inland, Idaho, Montana, parts of Wyoming, and also for the northern Cascades of Washington. A little bit of mix, and I'm sure that's snow if you get high enough in elevation. Today's high is quite warm across the country. Lots of red along the west coast into California, southern Nevada into southern Arizona. Just very comfortable temperatures. That's why the snowbirds go to Arizona, correct? Correct. Also, Texas is pretty warm right now, eastern New Mexico up into Oklahoma, and the plains all the way to the Canadian border. Not bad temperature-wise. A little cooler in the Midwest. We're still expecting highs in the 30s the next couple days, even with some sunshine and melting snow here in western Iowa. All right, let's take a look at the surface map for tomorrow as our East Coast storm kind of moves off and leaving behind it a little bit of mix of precipitation also for West Virginia, North Carolina, and the Great Lakes. A little bit of lingering rain for the Oregon and Washington coast. So now let's get to our maps and we'll show you what's going on. We'll start at, I'm just getting the map ready for 6 o'clock this morning. Here's how things look right now across the country, and not a lot going around for much of the country. Our East Coast storm is the main event here with some pretty decent rains coming down for Virginia, Maryland, into Pennsylvania, even New Jersey getting soaked this morning, along with Delaware. And then further to the south, it's lighter rain, North Carolina, South Carolina. On the backside of it, also some lighter rain for the Ohio Valley. Pacific Northwest, rain along the coast, and some of it kind of heavy as you get into Washington. Now let's move forward in time today. That'll get you to noon. That'll get you to this afternoon. We're starting to see snow mix in here, changing to snow, and even some decent snowfall rates for New York State, Pennsylvania into Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Rain further south, and the Pacific Northwest, a little bit of light rain inland. Everyone else pretty quiet. And then that storm on the East Coast exits out of here. This is noon tomorrow, and very quiet across the United States from coast to coast. Just a little bit of rain, kind of heavy, for the northern Washington coast. Now watch this low here as we move through, get into the 30th. So this is midnight the 29th. This is 6 a.m. on the 30th, and it's light snow coming down for western Michigan. That's rain for Chicago, but not too far from a mix or maybe a little bit of light freezing drizzle or something thrown in there. And then we have the rain along the Pacific Northwest coast. And this low bringing more snow down into Detroit, also into Ohio as we go forward in time. On the 30th of January, this is midnight on the 30th, as my birthday ends, some pretty good rains coming down Northern California. And this low, just a little bit of light precipitation, very spotty. And then as we move through time, this storm here, oh my goodness, this is heavy rain. Southern Oregon coast, Northern California coast, down to San Francisco. The wine country just getting soaked. This is noon on the 31st Central Time, so 10 a.m. California time, as this storm moves in on Thursday and brings in some scattered showers and thunderstorms. San Francisco now moving closer to the central California coast, Paso Robles, Santa Maria, and that's kind of the new storm in town, bringing some heavy rains now just off the coast of the LA Basin, Santa Barbara here. Some pretty good snows for the the Sierra Nevada. And as we go through time, as we get to noon on Thursday, February 1st, looks like heavy rain possible for the LA area, moving into Southern California, into San Diego, and into Mexico too. Tijuana down to, looks like almost Ensenada. And then a little bit of snow, light snow coming down in Nevada, and heavier snow for the Sierra Nevada. This rain moving into Arizona now, and they will take it. El Nino years are good winter time for rain in the southwest. A little bit of snow in the mountains of Arizona, heavy rainfall for parts of the state, and it's lighter snow as you get back further north. A little bit of light snow up here in New England. Don't want to leave you out, but not a lot going on here. This is the main system in town as we start February. Getting into the second now, we're at 6 a.m. Central Time. And as we go through the day, the rain showers moving into Tucson, Phoenix, and points then now starting to move into New Mexico. Deming, you're going to start to get wet here all the way to Las Cruces, although the rain is lightening up. And you see that's turning into snow as you get into the higher elevations. And when we move forward in time, just continue to watch this storm. Some heavy rains for Lubbock and the South Plains, and further south, and also the Panhandle getting some decent rain. It's lighter, but watch for some embedded thunderstorms down here in West Texas. And as the storm moves into the plains, we do see some rain, some mostly light rain out ahead of it for Kansas and Nebraska and eastern Colorado. Snow on the backside. This is noon on the 3rd, with some heavy rain into eastern Texas moving into Louisiana. But as the storm moves through and brings some light showers out ahead of it, light rain showers ahead of it, light snow showers behind it, what happens is as it moves east, it opens the door for some colder air to come in behind. So as we get into maybe the second week of February, we're going to start to see some cooler air move into the center of the country. So, a couple weeks of melting snow may come to a little bit of an end for the northern plains and for the Midwest as this storm moves off to the east. And we see some light rain showers here. We're on the 5th now. This is noon Central Time, Monday, with some light rain, South Carolina, parts of Tennessee into Kentucky, and also getting into North Carolina. And that rain continues in the South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, as this storm exits, leaving a little bit of storm behind it, but we have another storm moving into the southwest here. Looks a little bit colder, a little bit more snow for northern Arizona, and more rain for Yuma. Congratulations, El Centro, Needles, Barstow. So the desert area is getting some El Nino wintertime rain showers, and that's a good thing. And so we'll watch this next storm as we get into the second week of February and see what it might bring to the plains with the cooler air, and see if we can get another snowstorm in here, since most of our snow will be gone by then, at least where I live in western Iowa. All right, we're gonna cap it there on the European model, but I do want to show you the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Still looking for above average temperatures. Middle of the country, best chances of below average temperatures, where we're going to see all that heavy rain for California and along the west coast. And then our precipitation amounts or chances, of course, much of the country now looking above average for precipitation, especially as you get into West Texas, back into the Four Corners area, even parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and back towards central California, where they're just going to get hammered by showers and thunderstorms, and even down into the LA basin, San Diego, and to the deserts of California and Arizona. The only dry spots here look to be the east and for the Great Lakes. And I think we'll see this change, especially this right here. I think we'll see this change in the center of the country as that first system moves out, and we'll see some colder air dive back in. Not Arctic air, but cooler air. I think bring us back down to average temperatures. As winter continues, it's still February. So that's my report for this early Sunday morning before church. I better go pick up the donuts. People like their donuts before church. You have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in, The Weather Mike.